What is up, people of all different types of ages, races, genders, and yes, even you other species out there watching this video. My name is OmegaPro, and here we are back at it again to talk about Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And in case you cannot read, this video will be about Xenoverse's release date. Now, the Dragon Ball release dates have been semi-sporadic. They were for a few years there, like with Ultimate Tenkaichi and the Budokai collection and stuff. For those few years, it was essentially like a October release date, I believe they were, and that's what people sort of got used to, you know. So with Battle of Z and, you know, any other Dragon Ball Z game we thought would come out, we just sort of assumed it would be like an October thing because that's what they seem to go for, seeing as though a lot of game developers went for a yearly update to their games, or a yearly sequel to their games rather. It just seemed like Dragon Ball was going down that same route where they would make a game yearly, and it would only make sense to release it around the same time every year, so that way your fans know when they can expect the game, and also you have a specific amount of time to work on said game. Now, Xenoverse is a little bit different because of the way that they released Battle of Z. Battle of Z was the first game to sort of break that chain. Instead of releasing in October, they actually released in very, very early January of actually this year. So because of that, it makes me feel like we're not going to see a Dragon Ball, or we're not going to see Dragon Ball Xenoverse anyway this year. And the main reason being is because it just wouldn't really make too much sense to release two Dragon Ball games in the same year, unless of course Xenoverse has been in production for a long time. And even then, I would say give us a rest from the Dragon Ball games. You know, you don't want to spam them out there because most people don't even know that different developers work on games that have the same name under them. They just sort of assume, oh, hey, look, it's another one of this. So it took them, a lot of people think, like, let's say if the game released tomorrow, people will think, wow, so they made Battle of Z, and then in like a few months they made Xenoverse. Whereas that's obviously not the case, whereas Xenoverse has probably been in development for a few years or something like that, or maybe even just 1 year, whatever the case may be. But the actual release date, I'm going to have to say that it's going to be released Q1 of 2015. So we're talking January to, when does Q1 extend to? Maybe March, April-ish, around there. That's what I'm going to peg it at. If I had to choose 2 months that I think it would be, it would either be January to coincide with Battle of Z's release date, or March, which coincides with most Naruto releases. Almost every Naruto game released in March, I believe. Storm 3 released in March, Generations released in March. So maybe they're trying to get those anime games on like a one-track cycle sort of thing, where, you know, in the very beginning of the year, you're getting, you know, your Dragon Balls and your Narutos, and everything's gonna be great. So if I had to choose 2 dates, it would either be January, again, Battle of Z, or March, because, you know, Naruto comes out on that, and maybe they're just trying to sync them up. But I do feel like we will see a release very, very early on in 2015. If not that, I'm about 80% sure we're going to see an early 2015 release. If it's not being released early 2015, then I'll have to say holiday season of 2015, just because those are the only 2 moments in the year where games really sort of come out. Like, there'll be some sleeper hits, or even maybe some bigger titles, like we had Infamous this year for the PS4 that came out early on in the year, and then obviously the holiday season is huge for games, and maybe they'll go that route. I don't want them to go that route because Xenoverse will not hold a candle to the other games that are being released that year. Maybe Xenoverse will be actually really, really good, but to an average person, if they go to the store and they see Dragon Ball Xenoverse, or like the new Assassin's Creed, or whatever fucking bullshit is on the shelves, they're probably gonna choose the other series that isn't Dragon Ball Z. So I would hope for an early 2015 release, so that A, I can play the game a lot sooner, and B, they don't split their sales with other games that are out there on the market. But if you actually go to GameStop.com right now, and I'll actually thank a subscriber, because he actually made a video on this and he told me, you know, about the GameStop listing. I already had my own speculations about the release date, but he told me about the GameStop listing, and the GameStop listing has it set at December 31st, 2015. Now, this in actuality means absolutely nothing. It literally means nothing. The only reason why I decided to point it out is because I'm going to guarantee that there was going to be comments in the comment section down below, people saying, "Oh, Omega, your dates are wrong. GameStop's website has December 31st, 2015. Let me explain to you what that is. That is what is called a placeholder date. So any game that is meant to be released in 2015 that does not have a determined time that's going to come out, for example, if a game is not planned for quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, they say the game's going to come out in 2015. They just don't know when in 2015. It will always be December 31st, 2015. GameStop does that so that way you can still pre-order the game, but you know, they let you know that there's no positive release date. You know, it could be absolutely the end of the year for all we know. But that's what that means. That's just a placeholder date. What do you guys think about the release date for Xenoverse? I almost called it Battle of Z. Wow, that is terrible. But what do you guys think about the release date? What do you think is most likely, and when do you really want the game to come out? Come on, be honest. I mean, tomorrow is not a legitimate reason. Let's just assume it's coming out in 2015. When would you like it to be released, and when do you think it would be most strategic for them to release Xenoverse? Let me know that in the comment section down below. I am Omega God. I command thee to like this video. Add it to your favorites if you really liked it, I suppose. Don't forget to leave those comments. Subscribe to the OmegaPro channel if you haven't already for the latest and greatest Dragon Ball Xenoverse news. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.